Start this podcast. Quit being a
Fuck you,
bitch.
Paul.
Welcome to the Bass and Brews podcast, your weekly distraction from other high-quality podcasts. And now, your host, Alex from Swamp Rat Fishing, and the co-hostess with the mostest, the Jabberhammer, Paul
Don't worry, folks.
Roberts.
Paul actually showed up this week, unlike the last episode. Go ahead.
Oh shit! Wrong one. Hold on. Damn it! There we go.
Nope. Nobody can hear anything, Paul. Nope. Nobody can hear. You tried to use your stupid soundboard. Nothing came out.
Oh.
Nope. You're an idiot. Again, I want to reiterate. I'm Alex from Swamp Rat Fishing, and I'm still looking for a better co-host than the Jabberhammer Paul Roberts. So
You know what's sad is you've been talking about getting, resumes for new co-hosts for a couple months now, and I'm pretty sure you haven't got any.
I got one. I take it back. I got one, and the guy said, I don't like talking. Would that be better? Because it seems like you like to dominate the show. And I was like, I didn't know if that was a critique of the show or if it was something from like an OnlyFans site.
Well, nobody wants to be on here with another guy who's like 4'6".
Exactly. I think your ad should go right onto Tinder on your profile.
Yeah.
It says, looking for a new co-host. Must.
What?
Must.
How
know
funny
how-
would that be? How funny if, all right, no, let me write that down. Actually, I think we're going to do, hey, everybody stay tuned. I'm going to try to do a Tinder site for a Bass and Brews co-host, and we're going to see how that works.
And I think it should be, it's not how deep you fish your worm, but it's how you wiggle it.
Oh, I don't have paper. I got to write that down. God damn it.
Chrissy Korean, if you're listening, there's a new shirt for you.
There it is. All right, everybody. So this week's episode, it's been a hot minute since we've had a bait maker, and we doubled it up tonight. We got two bait makers. We've got John and Anthony from Fresh Baitz.
Well, no, they're one bait maker. There's just two people. We don't have two bait makers.
Well, no, I think there's probably one bait maker, John, and then Anthony is not the face of the company. He's just the guy that shows up late.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
and
What
then
a
has
savage
two
bird.
wardrobe. Yeah.
Hey, listen, everybody. I'm John. That's Tony. Right, Tone?
I think so.
Is that you?
Hold up. Your name's
Together, we
Tony?
are Fresh Baitz.
Yeah.
Together.
Hold up.
Together.
So, do we call you Anthony, Tony, or Romeo? Because you've got three first names.
Well, it depends how you know me. If you're a female, you call me Romeo. If you're my friend, call me Tony. But for everybody else, it's just Anthony. So
I'm calling you Romeo.
I'm
And
calling you
gonna look the shit
Romeo
out of you
too
when I
for the
finally
rest of the
meet you.
show. The rest
Yep,
of the show.
Romeo.
Don't tempt us with a good time, Romeo. But anyways, we're with Fresh Baitz, and before we get started into this interview, huge shout out to Nate Shagden, huge friend of the show. He was on in the single digits when I had him on, and he hooked us up with Fresh Baitz. Honestly, it's a company I found out about specifically because of him. So super excited. You guys got some great stuff that we're going to dig into, but big shout out to Nate. And
Nate was the catalyst of this podcast being something besides pure tea shit.
yeah.
That was the first episode I ever listened to was with Nate, and it's only gone uphill since then.
Dude,
No, thanks,
our company
Alex.
has only benefited from having Nate on the team as well. You know,
I mean, to be honest, Paul's not
Dude.
bullshitting. Like Nate was where we wanted to talk about fish, or we want to talk to fishermen, right? Anglers. But it doesn't always have to be about fishing. He was the first one where we kind of like it hit me of like, oh, this is something that we should do different, right? Like we don't always have to. There's a million excellent tournament podcasts and stuff like that. And I realized at that point, because it was just me without Paul, I realized that's not what I want to do. I want to talk to people behind the scenes. I want to talk about real stories of other anglers. I want to do everything but, hey, so you had a great tournament, huh? What bait did you use? Oh, that's great.
Because Nate has an unbelievable story.
Mm-hmm.
And that journey that he tells on that first episode is really good, and it draws you in. I mean, it's an emotional episode. We don't have a lot of those, but his story is emotional, but he tells it very good. And I mean, that again, that was a catalyst for this podcast being about the angler's journey and not about the person that's fishing.
Also, that was the first episode that my wife said, you're a fucking idiot, because I vomited up my stairs to the basement because me and Nate both drank half a bottle of Jameson during that 1.5 hour episode. It was gnarly, but
Sounds
Nate,
like the best episode of all time.
yeah. Oh, it's a great episode. Nate's not
the
here.
vomit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it had it all. But Nate's not here, so let's talk to the real stars, and that's Romeo and John.
Let's go. Nate is our star. He's our shining third star. You know,
But he's not here. Y'all are
Yeah.
your Bass and Brew stars. This is your
Right,
podcast.
let's
We're
go.
here to ask Oprah questions.
This is my
And-
moment, damn it.
That's
Yes,
right.
You're right. It is your time to shine. And Romeo, if he took his hat off, he would take all the shining away from everybody.
Savage
Oh.
burn. Savage
Oh.
burn.
Oh my
There's
god,
nothing but savage burns on this podcast right now.
I
Hold up,
fucking
hold up,
hate that
hold up.
soundboard.
No, hold up. That wasn't me. Who soundboarded that? Was that John?
That was John. God damn, I thought it was
This is-
Paul.
This is gonna be a
Let's go.
podcast
Let's
of
go.
soundboards. Alex and Sean the Fisherman's fucking nightmare.
Let's
Exactly.
go.
All right,
Let's
boys.
I only have
John.
one sound, so
John, I'll tell you this. Hey, before we get into this podcast, this episode anymore, John, you have free reign to play anything on your soundboard.
He's only got one sound.
We're gonna have a soundboard challenge tonight
Oh,
that only
Let's go.
you and I can compete in.
let's go.
Because
I wish
Here we
I
go.
knew that beforehand.
hey-o.
But I came prepared.
all right, boys.
right.
Tell me about, before we get into the company. Let's start with you, Romeo. How did you get started in fishing?
I grew up in the country and just part of like hanging out with the neighborhood kids, your friends. You just go out fishing from shore, and
Hold on real quick before we get any farther.
What country?
Exactly. What country? Because Paul sounds like he's from the country. You
Yeah,
sound
no.
like you're from a different country.
My
more of a rural,
Boston.
very rural. We don't have any britches. Like we don't wear britches around here. But you know what we do around here is we do steal people's V-hulls. So that's kind of how it all started. Really, like I had this crazy friend who had to like move out to the country, the rural area, and he happened to live in the neighborhood, and he lived across the street from the lake. So he came from the city, and he knew where all the V-hull boats were that no one chained up. So we would literally take people's V-hulls out for rides, and that's how angling all sort of started for myself.
So some damn hoodlums out there being like, look,
Yeah, the same
tired.
friend would steal his mom's BMW and drive it around the neighborhood. 14, like
Just country shit. Just country shit.
that ain't country shit. That's some hoodlum shit right there. I tell you what.
yeah, it's not a party unless you got M80s throwing them. It's a crazy time trying to crocodile Dundee some fish out of the water, and so that's how it started right there.
What state is this in?
Massachusetts.
So you could have
New
done
England.
like 30, 40 years for stealing that V-hull in that state.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
But
some
instead
serious
he
crime.
I mean, I don't mean to skip ahead. I looked on your guys' website. That's where I got the information. I heard that Romeo stole multiple V-hulls and sold them, and that's how they started Fresh Baitz with that money. So.
Damn. Is that like in our mission statement or something? Like,
It
how'd you
is.
guys-
It is.
how'd you
It's
guys
at the
get
bottom. It says
Damn.
we have scorpions
Capital
and we steal.
claim from yes.
Scratch
boats.
V-holes. Uncle
Scratch
Gary's.
and bins is what we do up here in Massachusetts.
Steal
John-
boats, make baits, make money. That's your mission statement.
That's it. That's it.
John, how about you, man? How did you get started in fishing?
My story is far less glamorous than that. Just started in high school.
So you
going
weren't
out
a
with some friends.
degenerate. You were a regular.
No, I was definitely a knucklehead, but I guess we were just never found those free boats that were hanging around.
Because Romeo stole them all.
Here we go. He was in the country.
Yeah, he's in the country.
In the country.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is John had chickens and I didn't, and I lived in the country.
100%, dude. 100%.
So,
Chickens,
John,
pig. Yeah.
John, did you grow up in a commune then? Were you in a commune?
A commune? You mean a commune, you dipshit?
Commune.
Commune.
Yes, I guess you could call it a commune. Yes. It was a town called Douglas, Massachusetts.
Okay.
My cousin from
What'd you say?
Boston. I'm
Oh,
gonna say that shit all damn night.
Paul, shut up. Anyways.
One of the best commercials on TV. Let me tell you.
It is.
Yeah, but no, Tony and I linked up together about, what was it, like 8 years ago now or something, some ridiculous long time ago. We started fishing, making fishing videos, started Get Ben TV. One thing led to another, and that's how Fresh Baitz kind of, Tony had the idea to start making baits. So we're like, all right, let's take this thing to the next level. That's what happened. That's the story.
All right,
now we're here.
Hold on, Alex. My turn, motherfucker. Where did the name Fresh Baitz come from?
I think it was just a kind of a play on, like, fresh bait, but now you can take fresh as a word meaning like cool and, hip, you put that in front of bait. So
damn,
Fresh
y'all
Baitz.
some old motherfuckers that Fresh was.
Yo, that is still hot. That is still hot. We should have called it is Bussin' Baits is what we should have called it.
Bussin' Baits, yo.
Bussin' Shad. See,
Shad.
you say
Bussin'
that.
Shagnon.
Bussin' Shagnon. You guys need to come out with a swim bait that's called the Bussin' Shagnon.
Oh, bro, I'm writing that down because he wants to come out. What does he want to come out with again?
Bussin'
A
Shags.
fluke. No, a fluke. He wants to come out with a fluke.
That's
It's going to be
it.
called a Bussin' Shags.
Bussin' Shags.
Yeah, Shags is the man.
I like how everybody's writing it down. Like Sean's like, I'm writing that down.
I'm
Listen,
getting
Bass and Brews is taking 0.01% of those proceeds.
And we would have made more money if you sold one pack of those baits at 0.01% of the money than we've made on this podcast.
That is a lot of speckles.
But for
That's
now,
called
because
speckles?
now I have this Tinder profile that's going to lead to an OnlyFans.
All the money's going to start rolling in now. I can feel it, dude.
Feet pictures of Jabberhammer's perfectly painted toes is going to make me a millionaire.
Look, hold on. I do have some pretty feet. Let me show you.
Listen, he's going to pull it up here. You guys on the podcast, like everybody, that's just the bottom of your disgusting foot.
That is hot,
That's still the
dude.
bottom.
That is a
Holy cow.
big-
What
Let me
is
tell you,
wrong
skin.
with your heel? What is wrong
Put
with
some
your
lotion
heel?
on that
Yeah.
shit.
No. When you're from the South, the only reason you wear shoes is because they won't let you into stores and shit without shoes, which is the stupidest thing ever. I have
Romeo.
cut grass
Why is that
barefoot.
stupid?
I mean, look, the corns on my feet are so strong that I walk out into the snow and the ice when we get it once every 2 years here. And I don't
You're
care.
the worst.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Romeo, since you're from the country, do you have the same feet?
Let's go.
Interestingly enough, I do, and I actually cut off those calluses with a razor blade like potato chips.
Wow.
Dude.
Why would you cut
he
the
eats
corn
them.
off?
And he eats them.
Because you gotta soften up. You gotta soften up the bunions. You gotta make sure everything.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe we just broke in. That's the secret sauce of Fresh Baits. Romeo cuts
Shaving off
the
his
dead skin.
bunions.
Yeah.
And he's,
Yeah.
and he's drying them. And
he
he's
puts
drying
them
them
in.
out and crushing them up and putting them into. There it is.
Damn.
It's
That's
a
it. Cut this podcast off. Ruining all that shit.
floating formula.
The secret formula.
Floating formula. All right, boys. Seriously though, so it seems like you go online, whether it's Instagram, whatever it is, everybody's a bait maker at this point, right? Everybody's got something.
Sure.
So you guys specifically have a couple, like more than a couple actually, baits that are very unique. But when you started, is that something that you kind of had in the back of your mind that you had to have something that was different from the rest of the crowd?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That was the whole reason, the only way we were going to make it, right, Tom?
Listen, just like when we go out, it's the wow factor. You know what I'm saying? When us two walk into a bar, can't stop us, dude.
You take off your hat.
What
and
happens?
it looks like
I've never
the
been
glow
out.
of Jesus Christ walked
No, no.
in because
What do you
all
mean?
the lights are bouncing off, and they're like,
Ching, ching,
it's
ching,
Romeo.
ching.
There it is.
John wasn't quick enough with that one. He wasn't quick enough.
That's the first time he hasn't been quick.
A bald man for being bald. Absolutely not.
No, you know what? You got to bring something different to the market. You know, fishing hasn't necessarily changed in forever, right? So like you think about just everything going on. Everybody's, you know, bombarded with a ton of different options, sort of different variants of the same thing, and they catch, right? So, but how do you separate yourself from the crowd? You know, outside of being ridiculously good looking.
Yeah, I mean, you guys failed at that.
That's why I'm here on this podcast, because that's an ugly motherfucker, and you know, I ain't pretty or nothing, but I'm way prettier than he is.
When I found out about you guys' company, it was a scorpion was the first one, the first bait that I found out about you guys, right? And I was like, well, shit, this company's got to be from like down south. And then I find out that you guys are in New England. I was like
the Northeast.
What the fuck
it's a hard
do
thing
these
to
guys
convince,
know about scorpions? There's no scorpions there. What made you kind of like?
Are you sure scorpion? You've never seen a snow scorpion?
No, I've seen a dude drunk in Boston slip on the ice and do the scorpion where his feet reach over the back and hit the back of his head. Yeah, just like John. That's the only scorpion I've ever seen in the North.
You saw that video? Oh man.
Yeah. No, but what made you guys go for kind of that form factor?
It was truly in line with probably the best selling SKU in the industry, which is a crawfish, right? Once again, it's how do you bring something different to a level that's familiar. And so for anyone that's seen the videos either online, YouTube, you know, any social, you know, the scorpion's got 8 crazy legs. It's got claws like a craw. And the way we have it set up in terms of the jig that we sell with it, it automatically, you know, when you pull it back, it goes into a fleeing position, stands up in a defensive position. And that's something that fish are already familiar with. So it was it fit well in terms of Fresh being defined as something new and clean and not seen before in terms of the brand, as well as right into the product.
Whose idea was that? You, Romeo, or you, John?
I think it sort of just fell upon us. It's one of those things where, like, you know, in the journey of discovery, you know,
it was definitely my idea for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that was like Bass and Brews. That was my idea to name this podcast Bass and Brews. So
exactly, dude. I knew that, Paul. I knew that the whole time.
Yeah.
Tony did come up with the idea for the Hellamite, though, which is our second.
There we go.
Second most, well, actually, that's probably the most popular bait that we
have. Down here in the South, we call them Godamites, because if you reach down and pick one up wrong, and that some bitch bites you, first of all, you're saying, holy shit, motherfucker, goddamn. But, you know, you can't name a bait, holy shit, motherfucker, goddamn. So it's a Godamite.
Yeah, that's what Romeo wanted to call it because he's from the country. But John had him change the name.
Am I saying that correctly?
You know what I do? I just take my callous big toe and I stick it under the rock like bait. Pull up these fucking things, like, and then throw them on and just smash fish with them. So
how did y'all come up with the cast, that original on the Helgramite, which I will refer to from here on out as the Godamite, and the Scorpion? Because you hear about some swim bait people that they catch a shad or a gizzard shad and they take it home and they freeze it, and then after it's frozen they make the mold with it like that, so it has the scales and the fins and everything's done like that. Did y'all do that, or was this something, do y'all have some kind of artistic background where you made that original cast by art, or did you go find these bugs, freeze them, and make a cast from it?
We definitely froze them, 100%.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
I could tell he was lying.
I mean,
that's a great idea.
Looking at these two, there's no way they artistically did it.
Somebody can draw with. They have a
messing.
bait
I'm
company.
just
One
messing.
of these guys can draw. It is a fact. One or both can draw. It has to be.
Oh, John's bobbing his head. It's got to be John. Romeo's the ad man.
I can draw, but I can't read. That's the only thing.
Well, you're from Massachusetts. That's normal.
I know. We're supposed to be smart.
John can't read. I can't spell, but I did go to trade school and read numbers really well. So.
So you're an electrician.
Machine shop.
So
I'm very familiar with CAD programs and yeah.
There we go. Well,
yeah.
So electrician and machine shop, two completely different things. One, you lose your life if you fuck up. The other one, you just lose a digit or two.
Which one is which?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
All I know is machine shop. We used to make bowls in shop and sell the bowls to the other potheads in school. And we were like, this is like 20 years ago, right? So like ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Like,
so y'all are over there welding up some pipe and some nuts.
Yeah.
And selling some shop bones.
I mean, if you guys want to drop it now, you guys can tell us about Fresh Buds. That's with a Z on the end of that one too. Yeah,
Coming
Fresh
soon.
Buds.
Coming soon.
Feds were looking at us for the boat VIN thing, so we had to move over into scrap brass, and then
man, you guys in the country, you guys are real Dukes of Hazzards down there.
Again, Tony grew up in a much different place than me, I guess. There's not.
John got his illegal substances like a true American on the streets. Romeo's out there running it instead.
I guess so.
Listen, I wasn't about the gold rush. I was about selling the shovels. You know what I'm saying? So
there we go.
Good one. It's a good one.
Add that to the mission statement on the website.
Papa didn't raise no fool.
There we go. Look, John, when he's on the commune, was growing his own shit, so he didn't have to buy it. It was free.
Oh, you know what? Fuck you, Paul. You're so excited that you finally said the word right. You said commune correct. What did he say before? Commune. Yeah.
Commune.
You know what, Alex? Nobody asked you short fuck.
Listen here, you gout having, big tit loving motherfucker.
Dude, Alex, so you're from Jersey?
Not originally, but
no. He lives in Jersey. He's not even a real American. He's from the Pacific Northwest.
I am. So wow. I'm originally from Washington State, but it's fucked up. So I just retired from the military. I retired in Jersey. You know what happened last week? And it was kind of sad it fully transferred over. I got like a New Jersey driver's license, no more Washington State license.
Tough.
It's tough because Washington State doesn't have an income tax, and Jersey's going to take me for everything that I have. But yeah,
Jersey's tough.
Yeah,
what part of Washington?
I grew up in Tacoma, so south of Seattle.
I owned a house in Tacoma.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know you made crack. That's awesome, dude.
You know what?
Good for you, dude. Good for you.
That's the weirdest neighborhood I've ever. Like that whole town is just all hills. It's an amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's a lot of hills. It's also a lot of so to be completely honest, I left the Pacific Northwest. I left Tacoma when I was 18 years old in 2003, and I've been back twice.
Yeah, because he got arrested at the Tacoma Mall, and he was banned, and that was the only place you could go when you
I forgot I said that. I fucking forgot I said that.
He can't go back now because he's banned from Tacoma.
Yeah, so
in the mall.
My whole funny story with like the transition, people are really like I don't know, they think it's weird, right? So I left and I got on a ship in the United States Coast Guard out of Oregon, and then I went to school and we had the list, and I said I want to get the fuck as far away from the West Coast as possible, and the only thing on the East Coast was Atlantic City, New Jersey, and I fucking took it. And I fucking love it here. I live in South Jersey. I love it here. And that was in 2005. So I've done a bunch of different stints here in the military and then back on the West Coast too, but came back here to retire. I love it here. I think it's a little hidden gem. It's kind of like living in the country.
Oh, look, he doesn't love it as much as that his wife is from there, so he has to love it because they can't go anywhere else.
Yeah,
another savagery.
Yeah, no, I mean
There's
he's
no
kind of
secrets
right.
here.
So like we
I love it so
literally
much.
like my house is 2.5 miles away from my wife's childhood home, but
Okay, I'm seeing
But-
how this is how. Okay, now I'm.
but
Okay.
we've also like she went with me. Like we lived in the Bay. Oh shit, she left twice with me. We lived in the Bay
Hey,
Area
Alex,
twice.
this is Fresh Baitz podcast, not the 18th time we told your story on this podcast.
Dude, he asked a question, dickhead.
It was gonna lead to another one though. It was gonna be like so.
Yeah.
You know.
So, go ahead, John.
Now I forget what I was gonna ask. You know, it was
That's not very fresh of you.
5 minutes ago.
So, Alex, I have a question for you. So
Yeah.
in the Coast Guard, while you're on
Yeah.
a boat, what's the oddest thing you've ever encountered?
Mm.
A boat full of men.
On the boat itself.
And I mean, you can go anywhere with that question.
Alex, you are very like. Is Alex? Am I the only one looking at Alex and look like his internet just shit the bed, or is it just me?
I think he just shook his camera, just trying to
No, it's
avoid.
a little fuzzy.
It's a little fuzzy, but it still says high-speed internet. As long as you guys can hear me. So the weirdest thing. Shit, I don't. Okay, so no, I'm good with it. So I'm technically out now. So we got underway, and we hit a port call in Mexico. And the next port call we hit in Costa Rica, we lost 50% of the female members on my boat because they were all knocked up in the first trimester.
So you have it's math for the math guy here. So
Yeah.
between ports, what was the timetable on that?
About a month and a half. Yep. So
Wow.
Yep. So we, the captain of that ship, we all, he puts us all on the flight deck. We're all chit chatting, and he's talking to everybody. He's like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess something happened in port," and we're like, and I remember my boss at that point. He went, "Hey, Captain, do you think we don't know how to fucking count? They obviously got pregnant in Mexico, dipshit." And the captain was like, "No, there's no way we would sleep with our shipmates." And we literally had probably the most junior person on the boat. He'd only been there for like 2 months. Like he got there right before we got underway. And he goes, "Well, I think that's wrong, Captain. I fucked like 3 girls on this boat in Mexico in front of everybody," which is like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Savagery.
huge no-no. Yeah.
The SS
Get
bang
fucked.
bus. I don't know.
Yeah, the SS gang bus. Yeah, that was yeah. I mean, there's other stories too. But as Paul said, nobody wants to hear from me.
Gangbangs
Paul's,
on Coast Guard cutters definitely exceeded my answer level.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's
100%.
listen, when you're underway, yeah, it happens.
I was hoping
It's
for like a
all
UFO sighting or
all the
something.
motion in the ocean.
No, I've seen
Yeah.
I've definitely seen some weird shit like that, man. Like I
Okay.
remember sitting on top of the boat, because you got to stay on lookout. It's at the very top. When I first got in the Coast Guard on the first ship, sat on top, and I watched some weird shit in the sky. And I still,
Hell yeah.
I don't really believe in that shit, but I kind of do.
But you
And I
have to.
still have this shitty Nokia phone video from 2003 of lights moving and then stopping, descending, and then
Ooh.
gone.
Now we're talking.
Yeah,
Now we're
I have no
getting
fucking
somewhere.
idea how to explain it.
Yeah, he sold all his cigarettes and he was, depressed because he didn't have no nicotine. So that's
No,
when he saw
dude.
those lights.
No, one, that's not true. I was a young man. I was very excited to
Hey,
hit the next
hey,
port call
Alex.
to see what I could stumble into.
Hey, Alex, what about Fresh Baitz, dude? What about their stories? What about some crazy?
That's a
John,
good
so
one.
we got
Yeah.
Romeo.
Talk to me.
Romeo works, in a shop. What do
Yeah.
you do, John, for
Dude,
a real life gig?
For a real life gig, I'm a videographer. I'm a
Oh, wow.
cameraman and editor. Yeah, so that's
Okay.
where all our content comes from.
That
So
makes
you're
sense.
judging
'Cause
the
it-
shit out of our crappy ass video and audio. Then right now, you're judging us. You're like a chef when every time they go out to eat, they're just like,
Nah,
This
this
is
is
bullshit.
this is
This
some
is
real ass
trash.
shit. You guys got microphones and external plugins and stuff. I'm ashamed that I'm running off of just the laptop speaker, microphone
My
right now.
favorite is that you just said you're a videographer, and we have the mannequin head in the back with the bucket hat on it. Yeah,
Bro, you
that's
never
my
know.
favorite. Yeah.
You never know when you're gonna need
Hey,
one, dude.
And if you took that hat off, it'd look like your partner.
I won't do that. No, I can't do that to him.
What do you? I mean, that's really exciting. It's something I think is awesome. Like if you don't know about the show, Paul is the tournament guy. I'm the content creation guy. That's kind of how we split this show. So what kind of videography do you do?
All kinds. Mainly work for a Boston-based nightlife and like culture show that's on one of the local channels here. So I do a lot of production for them, and just anything freelance related.
Yeah.
Anything fun. Yeah, action sports is a lot of fun. Love the film fishing stuff too. But that's it. Yeah, been very lucky. The videography has been able to take us on some pretty awesome trips. We were in Lake. We were down in Mexico fishing at Lake Bacharach. Some dope fishing down there if you guys ever want to go. Bacharach Lodge, super lit.
So how was being a videographer and being in that realm, right? Being able to create the video and the social media stuff, like the visual shit. How much has that helped Fresh Baitz versus, another company that might be similar to y'all's that's just making baits and putting cell phone bullshit out there? Do you think that some of the stuff that you put out there through social media with your videography background has helped?
Totally. It's it's been a great combination for the two of us to bring both of our sets of knowledge to the table. It's definitely helped out. And yeah, we've definitely been able to make some super quality content because of that, which, as you were saying, definitely helps in this day and age. Video content is everything. So yeah, we're just really lucky that's how it's kind of gone so far.
All right, I got a question. So you said you did some fishing stuff, right? When it comes to videography, are you doing the editing as well?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So by the time this comes out, I'm going to release this video, right? And it's going to be on the Bass and Brews TikTok. And I think a lot of folks, because we do have a lot of folks that listen to the show for content creation purposes, right?
Sure.
And they struggle with video editing. And it kind of like hit me as an epiphany earlier last week. And it was...
Spell epiphany.
Absolutely fucking not. I got a GED from Tacoma. There's fucking no way I'm spelling that word. Yeah. All right. So I think a lot of people, so if you do videos where you're doing gear reviews and tackle reviews, that's pretty simple, right? You show the gear, you do whatever.
Sure.
But when you're showing a fishing trip, I think, and it hit me like last week, right? Like, because I caught myself doing it in my own videos, was that we don't tell a story enough. We don't tell the story of the trip. What we do is we slap together 8 clips of us catching a fish, and then we go, well, shit, that didn't get any traction. I guess YouTube doesn't like fishing, or TikTok doesn't like fishing. And it kind of hit me. And again, by the time this comes out, I'm trying to do this challenge for the Bass and Brews for myself, but also the other Bass and Brews fans, to like try to do more storytelling in our fishing videos. What do you like?
Sure.
What's your thoughts on that one?
But you have to, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of extra work. A lot of times you go on these trips and everybody can bring, a GoPro or something, but turning it on is half of the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's been so many stories. People buy camera stuff and they just don't use it, because it's one extra thing. And you just have to force yourself to do it. And like you were saying, you have to be able to tell a story, and you have to film like the whole time, from start to finish. Anything you think is relevant to the fishing trip, you should definitely film it. And if you use it, use it. If you don't, you don't. Just make sure you just got to put the time in.
Romeo, what are you drawing over there? You got like 8 sheets of paper making notes or drawing something. What's going on, dude? Because I know you're. I can already tell. We've asked this question before. You're the artist.
Yep.
You're the man with you're left-handed, so you can draw. Oh. What's going on here?
I'm trying to make you the next bait. You are inspiring me to make the next bait, and I'm going to show you in a moment.
All right. Okay. Is it his toe? I hope it's his pretty toe.
Look, it better have the pattern of my heel corns, and then the beard, all the dangling participles of my beard as the appendages.
Sounds majestic.
And we'll call it the donkey dick.
I'm glad you mentioned that, John, because it's just a thing that hit me, and I feel like a lot of folks are like putting out shit everywhere, and I have seen your guys' content. Those not promo. Oh my goodness.
That dude did not miss leg day, that's for sure.
No, that's hold on. Hold that back up again for me, Romeo.
This bitch ain't the artist for shit.
Yep, I just want to mark the time. Listen, you if you guys are not watching on YouTube and you're only listening, you missed.
It's Merman.
Look, he not only gave my feet the gout, he gave my thighs the gout too.
I forgot to paint the toes.
Yeah.
I like how you were like, he's the guy that draws, and that's what we get.
That's what we get. I thought it was gonna be be something like Ken when we're doing shit with Ken, and he's over there drawing in the background and holds up, this the Goya artwork, and then now we get, we get a 5-year-old drawing up a stick man with fat thighs and feet.
I mean, it's spot on.
How Baitz started, right?
Yeah.
Started from the bottom. Started from simplicity. And now we're here.
Amen.
Man, I mean, and you really hit that with your country accent. That's good. So on
from
top,
the country.
So on top of the Helgamite and the Scorpion, here's what I want to talk about. You guys have that color shifting worm. Let's talk about the idea behind that one.
Yeah, why throw one worm? You can have two,
That's what she said.
Amen. Again with the amen.
Yeah. How exactly? Just explain the chemical breakdown, everything, and the
Alex,
GPS to your
you're asking
facility.
for fucking trade secrets here, man. I mean, what
I am, but I mean, if they
to
give
do
them,
here?
that's not my
Look,
fault.
you don't have to worry about Alex remaking any of your shit. He got some t-shirt printing stuff and was going to make t-shirts, and he tried to make some t-shirts, and it turned out so bad that he wouldn't even show me. And now he's just got t-shirt shit over there in his back corner.
Hold on.
Everybody's tried to make a t-shirt, and I have 3 boxes of them in the closet right now. From different points in my life.
Hold on.
Oh, these are gonna sell. No.
I make awesome designs. Literally in front of me is all the screen printing gear. I just never learned how to do it.
He says he makes awesome designs, but I asked him, I was like, Alex, help me do something for my other podcast. He goes, man, I can only make skulls.
I can only do skulls. Look at this. Look at this thing. Skulls. I made that. That's all cool. I can do.
It's a dope ass skull, though.
It is. But all I can do is skulls. He's like a 12-year-old in 1998 that watches nothing but skateboard and wrestling videos.
Wow.
No, he literally described me to
Jenkos and
yeah. Look, when Alex
I wasn't rich. I lived in Tacoma.
Yeah, he had to go to the Goodwill and buy the 4X pants and cut them off. And then tie a rope on the not all the way around, but tie a rope on the sides and
he's not wrong.
So they fit his waist.
Some fake ass Jenkos.
Yeah. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I've definitely done that.
Francos.
That's awesome. Imagine.
So we got off topic on this on what Alex is doing, but where did the idea come to having a color shifting lure? What is my mind? Where I grew up, we had some people that had these low riding little S10s and shit, and they would pay all this. They would pay $8,000 for a $500 vehicle to get this color that, it would change colors, right? It would be gold into purple or what the fuck ever. I'm colorblind, so I don't know.
Oh man,
where did
hear that too?
Fuck colors.
Damn, so you can't even see our color shifting worms then.
Well, exactly. I mean, but look, if that fish is going to bite a lure that has 6 flecks of red fleck in it or not, I ain't catching that fish today. I mean, I ain't catching that fish anyway. But in general, I don't give a shit. But anyway, where did that idea come from, right? Because I mean, we see it through in these other little avenues, like cars is a big one. How did this come about?
Sure.
Well, so I have 2 young children, and I'm constantly playing with their toys. So the origin of this sort of is like, what kind of fun, like slime wise, can you make? And you know what? John and I sat down and we sort of game plan that, like, what's missing out there. There's color changing, right? There's heat change, like cold to warm changing, thermal changing. So, light shifting in terms of just different. And that, isn't all that far off from the automotive industry or any one of those. And so one of the closest industries that bait making comes to is epoxy resin, right? So we'll actually pull a lot of our ideas and stuff like that from table making, epoxy resin. So I watch a ton of videos on that. So from there, you really can get a great grasp on sort of what is hot, what's not, in terms of what catches the angler's eye, but also offer something to the fish that they haven't necessarily seen before, right? So that's the whole key, is show them something they haven't seen.
All right, so we're going to go off on a little bit of a side tangent here, and it's relatable to what we're talking about in bait making. You just said something that catches the angler's eye. As a bait maker, there's probably 2 things that you're looking at. One is, will the fish bite it? And 2 is, how do I get these people to buy it? 100%. What's the ranking there when you come up with a new lure or new color? Is your first thing that pops in your mind is, how do we make this where an angler sees this and it's like, damn, I gotta have this, I gotta try this, this looks good as shit? Or is it, this is what the fish are gonna bite?
So I think when you market segment down the fishing industry, I think you have two customer bases, right? And you have one, the angler who takes it serious. He's got the hook on his hat, and he does tournaments, right? And
he's from the country.
Yeah, he's got his britches on, and he's the whole thing, right? So at the end of the day, that guy, he's 1 in the hand, 2 in the bush, right? Like, he takes guaranteed money because he's probably got money on the line. Then there's a large group of anglers out there that want to go out and have fun, right? Bring back the experience they had with their parents, their brothers, their sisters, their friends, from a place that brought them peace and fun. And so 2 totally different markets. And I think when designing a bait, obviously, you have to look at what fish key in on. So I firmly believe it's a shape 1, color 2nd. And so at the end of the day, the shapes are not far off from anything in terms of not edible from a fish. And so 2, the additional color SKUs appeal to a whole separate market of the guy who's not going to post on your Facebook ad and say, that's for fishermen, not fish, right? Like, that's the guy, like, that ad's not for you. That's not your bait. Like, just go buy black, bro, because guess what? Your wife is bored with you. She's tired of you taking off for the weekend, and she's probably sleeping with the guy who wants to fish the color change.
Damn.
Right?
Look,
so
y'all, this shit.
We're
look,
just gonna
this
throw it out there, bro.
Look, y'all, this man out here saving marriages.
I'm just saying, man.
Or destroying them.
So that's
Or
why we came up with
destroying
the
them.
color shifting worm. That's why we came up with it.
No, but that's the reality of it, right? Keep it fun. You're gonna go be the grumpy butt guy at the bar, or you're gonna be the fun guy. You know what I'm saying? So now listen, if there's no money on the table,
do you want to have the
and all the baits have to work?
Lure, or do you want your wife sleeping with your neighbor? Because we have both.
Not just any neighbor.
It depends. Are they buying a worm kit?
Okay, because his worm is a little bit different of a color. You know what it is? It's kind
I
of
like how everybody went with a really deep pause on that one. Like,
it's kind of like a Coast Guard cutter.
Oh,
out there.
I like how Romeo Googled Coast Guard ships when we were sitting there talking to try to figure out the proper name, because he doesn't know about that. He's from the country. There's not a lot of ocean by the country where he's at.
He's a V-hole expert.
Yeah, nothing like stealing a lawn, man. Just getting chased down the creek, and then
Perfect. No, dude, you sound like every Southern rapper, basically.
No. Look, you get a crick is what you get in your neck when you sleep wrong. A creek is a flowing body of water, and a river is a big ass flowing body of water. We'll get in that. John, what were you saying a little bit there ago, John? GB. Hey, where the hell does the GBTV come from?
Yeah, what's
That's a lot
that?
of damn vowels for a Southern boy to say.
That stands for Get Bent TV.
Oh yeah, that's his extra promotion. I like it.
Yeah, that is the original.
Yep.
That is the original Fresh Baitz
Oh,
venture. Was Get Bent TV. Yeah. So
Nice.
this is our fishing channel. Check us out: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like, comment, subscribe. All right.
Ring that bell,
What
bitches.
else? Yeah. Oh damn, rap points.
dude, how weird is it to say that? Like, I know everybody says that you have to say that. That's like a call to action.
Yeah.
But like, I've at this point, I've honestly stopped doing that because I'm like,
I say it
like,
just jokingly, but
yeah, no, exactly, right? Like, and when I do say it, I say it very sarcastically, like you did. Like it's the most fucking annoying thing when somebody's like my kids. Well, what do they watch? They watch Happy Kids TV or some shit now instead of YouTube Kids, right? Because that shit got weird for a while there.
Okay.
I got a 9 and a 7-year-old. I don't know if you guys have kids, but YouTube got real weird where like Elsa was putting spaghetti sauce on Spider-Man's dick. It was fucking weird.
What the fuck? What kind of shit is that?
What happens
Dude,
in the cardboard box stays in the cardboard box.
Yeah, dude, go to YouTube and look up basically like Elsa YouTube drama, and there's a whole video like
Elsa
like
Spider-Man. Jeez.
Yeah, so like all of a sudden, I mean, like he didn't have an erection, but like it would be like Elsa, like it was a soft dick.
Wow.
Pasta drop. Yeah, it was fucking weird, dude. But anyway, so when my kids are like, you do, you could still do YouTube. Why can't we get on? Like, we'll tell people to like, subscribe, and I'm like, no, fucking stop. Like that shit is so annoying.
Yeah.
I hate
it's
it.
tough. It's tough. Yeah, I hate it too. You know, it's unfortunate because it's like it is one of the things you kind of still have to do. You know, if you're really trying to do that, like, just that little thing will get people to actually do it. You know?
It really will.
It's very unfortunate, but it's a pain. But you know what? You just gotta do it.
No, you don't. Just fucking
don't
do it.
Yeah,
just fucking sit in mediocrity and fucking hold your pride. I feel like
that was the first time I've said it, and I couldn't even tell you how long. But anyways,
So I have a question about making soft plastics.
Oh,
all right.
Did we answer the shifting worm question correctly? Or
no.
You want John's?
No, go ahead. All right, back to the shape shifting worm.
Yeah.
I feel like we're on an episode of damn, I forgot. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Go back to the
good call.
Yeah, we saw this kind of technology out there where like this was, you know, it was just this technology in a bait is unbelievable. It's really, really cool to see the worms come through the water and hit like when the waves are bouncing off the worm and the sun's coming through and it smashes these two different colors. It's really dope. You can check out all the examples on our TikTok and Instagram page.
Make sure
it just looks really cool.
Subscribe and hit the bell.
Yeah, and you know, like we've been saying from the beginning, we had to come out with some different stuff, some different baits, stuff you don't see all the time, you know. And we've been very lucky to have a lot of people try the baits, and they actually work. They do catch a lot of fish, good quality fish. Nate Shagnon, the Frenchman, has been like the biggest advocate for the scorpion that has ever been. He's won a lot of money on it. So we just know it works. But yeah, it's all about new, different, fresh, you know, just trying to keep it.
Was there a lot of trial and error with that color, or did y'all do a lot of, you know, research on the front end? Like how did you get it dialed in? Because it seems like there's more than just mixing some colors together and bowling it. And
there's a ton of these things floating around the house. Hand injectors. I almost burnt my face off. I look like
whole face. You look like what the hell was it?
Two-Face.
Is that what happened to your hair on your head?
Stress. 2 children.
That was a lawnmower. That was
Hey, I got 2 kids. I got a head full of hair.
Prove
But
it.
I also have.
You know what it is?
2 kids.
You know what it is? I really
Yeah.
2
But I also
kids.
have
Let's
gout,
go.
so-
Job. I really have hair, but I'm testing a new color.
Oh.
It's called invisible.
Oh no, he's
All
got
right.
color changing hair. When the light hits it, it goes real light.
You know, Tony tested, fish approved. across
Tony
the board.
tested. Tony tested.
Don't let him talk to you like that, bro. Fire back. Fire back.
So listen, anybody that's out there, they want to try the Fresh Baitz, go to freshbaitz.com, use code BB15 for 15% off.
There you go.
Like, subscribe, follow.
This
Hit
is
that
not
bell.
the this
Hit
is
that
not
bell.
the end of the podcast,
not
y'all.
the end.
He's putting in a mid roll. This is
That's
not the
a
end of the
mid-podcast
podcast.
plug right there.
Yeah, I know.
You know what
I
it
thought
is?
the plugs were free. Thought we could
Hey,
just like.
They are.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Until the end of the show,
Again.
and then we add them all
Again,
up.
Answer my
Okay.
question.
Sorry.
Take it away.
It's gonna cost you a shiny quarter. But
Right.
again, the trial and error. How
Yeah.
long did it take to get this color changing worm dialed in? And like how many colors did you dial in one color and then have to do another? Or once you got the formula done, then you could just change colors and go with it.
We.
It's
Yep. Go ahead.
Chick remix.
so in terms of bait making, any bait makers out there, so you're going to actually kind of go through sort of what sort of viscosity plastic you're going to use, right? So there's soft, medium, hard, right? And then in that, do you add salt? Do you not add salt? And so we don't add salt to any of our baits because normal bait makers would add salt to create a negative buoyancy.
Mhm.
And the problem with that is that salt sort of deteriorates the plastic in terms of affecting its tensile strength. You know, so the worm will rip a lot easier, essentially. So,
Like the difference between Yamamoto Cinco and then, the Yum Dinker. One's going to fall apart and one's going to be a lot.
Well, the Young Dinger I don't believe it has salt in it.
No,
It does not have salt in it.
That bitch will last for damn near ever.
Yeah, so we don't use any plastic. So when you salt. So when you don't use salt,
He only uses salt.
Shit.
Hey,
It's a
just,
salt bait.
Fresh
Yeah, there you
Baitz
go.
only uses salt.
Fresh Salt Bay.
Somebody write that down.
so when you don't run salt, right?
Yeah.
Your bait now plastic will naturally have a positive buoyancy. That also allows when you're running it through the machine to obviously shoot clearer baits, so more transparent baits. So I think for us, in terms of finding those color selections, when everyone else is sort of moving in the salt direction and going over here, we chose to say, you know what, that's not where we want to be. And so the advantage to that is these transparent colors, right? So when designing a color, I think it's important to remember, where your strength is. And so we have our core color base, but at the same time, we want to offer the transparency that other companies don't necessarily or cannot offer you because of what they're doing with their plastics. And so that's sort of where we go. And then when it comes to the color shifting, it has a lot to do with the effect that we're looking for in water conditions, right? So like too light, too heavy, you literally have to play with it. And that's where the old school hand injector comes into play. So there's a lot of trial and error that goes on to everything. And then in terms of trying to scale that up, right? So any of the Pyrex guys or microwave guys, they're using drops. But then when you try to scale that up and you go to concentrates, you now have to essentially do it the same, but you have to, like move it up. So there's a lot that goes into it in terms of design and then trial and error.
I will say what's really cool is so I've not tried the Scorpion. I know you guys are super famous for that, but I have tried your guys' worms, and one particular worm, because I think you guys are the only ones on the market that have a rainbow trout colored worm. And that doesn't play into a ton of my waters, but there's like 4 lakes that I fish that are stocked heavily with rainbows, and those worms have fucking killed. Like annihilated to the point where I'll be honest right now, I've shot YouTube video and I will not show that worm.
Oh, come on.
I know. Maybe I think they're
Just kidding.
shooting rainbow
cool.
trout next week because that's what they do in New Jersey, right? They just shoot it from a truck. They just launch those fucking fish into the water. But that worm, that color scheme, and that's the only one I've really seen, a worm color scheme. And everybody knows I do the flick shake, right? The weighted wacky. That thing fucking annihilates, and it is so dominant. And I think people need to fish that a lot more because it's killer. And again, it only works for like 3 lakes around me because the rest of it is all like super tannic, dark water. These clear lakes that I have, it is so good, and it's a color that not a lot of other companies represent. So kudos to you.
Alex throwing a worm is the only thing that he can throw and is not break when he throws it.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck
every time
yourself.
he throws anything on besides the worm, every time he throws it, his knot breaks.
Fuck you. Listen, today I threw the Trace mini swim bait, a 1 ounce swim bait, and it didn't fucking break off. I thought it was going to, but it did not fucking break off.
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. Listen, John.
He was also throwing it into his flower
John's
pot in the
about ready to
backyard.
become.
So if it did break, he wasn't going to lose it.
Nope, it was on the water. But John's about ready to become the new host. So
let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, he does have the soundboard.
I do.
He does.
Damn it, I timed out.
No,
Alex.
I think that color's super solid because I would run that like an imitation rainbow trout swim jig, right? That I would make myself. And then I realized I actually went to your guys' worm, and that was way better because those fish were picking off that smaller, like fluttering bullshit stocked rainbow trout. And I think that's kind of important for people who have lakes stocked with that.
So let me ask you this: thrown the swim bait and then the 5-inch worm that you was it a 5-inch or the 6-inch that you threw?
5
worm. 5. What was the size difference between the fish that you caught?
Way bigger on the 5-inch worm.
Okay, do you know why that is? Why the science is on that?
I think because it looks like a defenseless. Like usually the bigger fish are fatter and lazier. They're gonna sit in a spot. They're not gonna hunt one down, and they just want to get a cheap meal. As long as I can target the spot properly. Like so that's my idea.
The weighted wacky, it's sort of presented in like that it falling in that wobbling position.
Okay.
Essentially the dying bait fish.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have a 5-inch long dying bait fish. What fish is gonna bite that? A much larger fish compared to your 3.25 paddle tail.
All right.
Not that they don't work. So we have a lot of tournament anglers that will we do a lot of shows. We're in Oaks, PA a couple of weeks ago, Boxborough, Mass. A lot of tournament guys they'll come up, they'll buy our stuff and tell us how effective it is and why, right?
That's good.
One of the biggest sellers is the rainbow trout as well as the chameleon. I don't know if you were able to.
Seen that one. I haven't picked it up yet, but I've seen that one, yeah.
You know, John and I personally fished that from Canada to Mexico and caught straight through.
Okay.
So that's a color that's very unique and fish really key in on. But going back to the rainbow, like when we go back to, are we fishing for fishermen or are we fishing for, to catch fish? And honestly, the rainbow trout made sense. It's still a fun bait. It's not necessarily going to outbeat your green pumpkin, on your Lake Fork necessarily, right?
Sure.
But in the right conditions in terms of your local waters, and every angler has that, they'll have that specific body of water that they key in on certain colors. So to your point,
I want to tell you that one's solid. And I literally fish that. The lakes that I fish it on, green pumpkin, red flake is king. That's what everybody throws, right? I throw that bait out, I catch way more. More. And it's not giant size because I'm in New Jersey, right? We don't have big ones, right? But I'll catch numbers and I will catch big ones every once in a while. But it is again, like I think it's a really key color. If anybody fishes a lake that stocks a rainbow trout, you got to check out that You gotta check out that Fresh Baitz rainbow trout colored worm because it is money.
Oh yeah, Alex.
And, yeah,
Thanks, bro.
and
Great point.
I do think you throw it on a weighted wacky. Bailey Eibert tried to argue with me that the weighted is not the way to go, and there's all different ideas on it, but
now we're taking off to left field because because that's a lot of that's going to come into situation.
Sure.
What you're doing on that,
but I think that bait is solid. It's a great color. I think there needs to be more rainbow trout baited colors.
Sweet, dude. And dude, you're not the first person to come up and tell us how much that skew is, how dope it looks.
Good.
Even if they don't fish any places that stocked with rainbows, they still enjoy the skew, and enjoy the bait and the way it looks. And
I'd just like from you guys, I'd like a color changing bait that goes from a really dark June bug and red that shifts to a green pumpkin or rainbow trout color. Right? Yeah, make it happen.
I think you're gonna something like June bug to like shit brown.
Yeah. So I never have to buy any other worms.
Yeah, when it's 3 foot in the water, I need it to go from green pumpkin to black and blue.
Yeah.
And then from 6 foot and deeper, I need it to go from black and blue to red.
I mean, it's gonna be awful for your business.
If you can make one,
you guys might be onto something.
Awful for your business, but I just like 200 of those and just send them to my house and I'll be good for the year.
They could be the Bass and Bruce color right there.
Perfect.
That shit ain't never gonna happen.
So it's really funny.
I just wrote it down, dude.
Somebody has made a Bass and Bruce colored swim jig, right? That was pig and jigs. Sent me some, and I mean, they killed it. They killed the colors. I don't know if it's the most productive.
Throw them off because you can't tie a knot.
Nope, I still have them. Shut the fuck up.
In the world, who can't?
Are you really? All right. I just want to make sure. I have two additional, witnesses to Paul's hatred of the troops.
So, tell me this. How does the R&D go when it's time to make a new lure or a new mold or a new color? What does that look like? Where do you go from there? Is this a y'all arguing over stuff, or is it feedback from the tournament anglers that y'all have? Like when you're designing a new, let's not even say a new color, let's just say a new design, a new mold. Where's that?
Probably one of our brains, it'll start with
solid answer.
We'll start there, and then there's a lot of back and forth, usually some arguing. Yeah.
It generally starts at the end of a long fishing trip when everyone's exhausted.
Yeah.
True. Wait.
True.
Wait a minute.
And then, all right,
very true.
Then how do you? So you've got something, as John said, in your brains about a new design. Where does it go from there? Does it go down on paper?
Is that even possible?
On the computer? Like, how do you get the concept, that design concept, started to start the process of, all right, this is what it's going to look like? Are you hand drawing it? Because damn, if Romeo's drawing it, it's going to be shit. So I'm assuming you are using some kind of digital drawing.
I can't wait for Romeo. I can't wait for Romeo to put out the full soft bait done on the CAD machine, the lifelike jabber hammer swim bait, the topwater frog of just his fat gout ass.
Watch out. See those legs? It's gonna be like
it's good. Hey, it's the floating gout lure.
Floating gout.
What's funny about that whole situation is when we came up with the Hellamite, I think I had spent like 6 hours drawing this thing out, like legit, real. And I think I still have it right here.
I'm sorry.
Stop.
I'm not from New England. What the fuck did you just call it?
He called it drawing.
Drawing?
It's drawing,
What
but
is a
he said
drawing?
drawing.
Spell that.
It's something Picasso does. You know who Picasso is?
Yeah.
Is that another guy from the
We got
country?
a lot of Southern.
Cut his own
people-
ear off. Okay.
We got a lot of Southern people listening to this podcast, and ain't
Excuse me,
nobody know
wait,
what
what's
the
it
fuck
called?
a drawing is.
What is it?
A
Drawing?
Monday? You know what a
Drawing.
Monday is? Do you know what Do you know what the Louvre is?
A drawing.
There's a lot of drawings in there.
God Almighty.
Down here in the side. All right, time out. He said drawing, y'all. He said drawing. When he said drawing, what he meant was drawing. All right, go back to your drawing there, Romeo. Sorry to interrupt, but I had to.
How do
I
you
had
say? How do you say room? Say
Room.
Room. So we say
Right.
room.
Why is
Room.
How do you say ROOF?
Roof.
Roof.
Okay, so we ain't roughs in here. Ain't no roughs.
Okay. Roughs. Nah.
No, it's called the English language. All of you
Rough.
dickheads. I'm from Washington State, where we know how to say it.
Yeah,
Are
you
there any
don't count.
Bigfoot? Alex, have you seen a Bigfoot?
No, I fucking wish, dude. I
Yeah,
wish Bigfoot was
Bigfoot's foot is as big as Alex's whole body.
real. He's not wrong. Well, I mean, Bigfoot's supposed to be huge, dude.
Yeah, it's a big ass
Yeah.
foot, man.
Yeah, it's the biggest foot, man. You're right. It's not a piece of fucking fruit leather that you got as a kid. It's not a fruit by the foot. It's a Bigfoot.
Fruit by the
Dude.
foot is also taller than Alex if you unroll it and hold it up vertical.
Damn, Alex, she's gonna sit there and take this.
Yes.
Kinda
No, I mean it's
He
okay.
usually counts the number of short jokes, but
do.
I think I'm so far ahead right now because he wasn't on the Tiki Tak Live, so
I
you
wasn't.
can't count.
He's also really far ahead on the weight gained because he's a fat piece of shit at this point. So
Let's see him, Alex. Let's see. I mean, Paul. Let's
what's
see
up?
him.
Yeah,
See
Paul.
one.
Let's see. Look, he's got good. Go ahead, Paul.
Show the nips, dude.
I can't.
We've
it's
done
too
this
early in the
before.
podcast. It's too early in the podcast.
It's too early in the podcast.
I'm not John King. I don't get undressed before 2.5 hours.
Wow.
All right,
Romeo,
boys.
That's lit.
back to what you were saying, Romeo. Back to what you were saying. Sorry, your drawing got me all kind of thrown off. I had to
Yeah.
translate that for the Southerns.
All right,
Oh,
so we live like there's people watching us right now.
no,
No.
Okay,
No.
Friday. They'll be live Friday.
okay. So I spent 6 hours drawing this. Right now, well, we come up with a concept, and most bait guys will know this, right? Like whoever they order their molds from will make them prototypes. So that's what it is, right? So you put your money on the table, you got an idea. That's what it is, right? Do it.
Mhm.
So what we'll do is we'll run a prototype with a hand injection, right? And it all started with this.
Oh wow,
Wow,
that's pretty
there it
fucking
is.
good.
Oh,
there.
holy shit!
Holy shit!
Sorry,
Damn.
Dude, I'm so glad you still have that.
bro, I have it. I
So
fucking
funny.
All right, so what you do is you create a picture, and
well,
then
no,
you
so, no, you don't just create the picture, right? Like you
It comes to you.
the blood, the
It comes
sweat,
to you.
the
It's just like-
tear, like you're painting Mona Lisa, right? And then you
All
give
that time in the country you're spending pulling up Helgamites.
and then you give it to these people, and you know what they do to it?
They catch huge fish.
They make it look like this.
and then they make a mold.
Oh shit!
So all right, so real quick
They
now.
want
So
the
you
zoom look.
oh
Oh,
shit,
What is
I
that?
know what that was
Hey,
for a
hey.
second.
I don't know. Look like some cheeks to me.
Looks
It
like
does look like some butt cheeks.
no, it does a
All right,
penis.
so you draw it, you send it to your people that make a CAD, and then you approve it, and then they send it off to the mold people, and they create the prototype of the mold. You pour it, you test it out, you say it's good or we need to change it, and then you get that final mold, and then you start making baits, and you start making bank.
So you already know the story.
Yeah. You know,
You just nailed it. That's the
You-
story. That's
you
the
don't
whole
strike
thing.
me.
Look, I made it sound real easy, but you will never in a million years catch me in my fucking garage making no bait.
No.
I buy my shit. I ain't making a fucking thing. I've got jars full of old plastics over here because people say, keep them. You can melt them down and make your own shit. You
Mhm.
know what? It's just about to go in the trash. I ain't making a damn single thing that I fish with. I ain't making it. I buy my shit. I don't make nothing. Not at all.
That's
I
great for
leave
us,
that
dude.
shit to y'all.
He doesn't even make
is
the
great for
show,
us.
let alone
No, I
Baitz.
show up. I be
stars.
pretty.
Yeah.
I show up. I be pretty, and I keep Alex in line, and then he makes the show.
How about all right, so what's next? What's the next bait?
Question. So you just buy your shit. You just buy it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I buy my shit.
Yeah.
I don't make shit.
Break me down that process, right? You're looking for a worm. You go
Yeah.
into Bass Pro Shops.
No,
How you buy that shit?
It's
Oh.
easy. It's easy.
it's a good question.
I'm colorblind, so I buy dark colors and I buy light colors.
Yep.
And I don't give a fuck what the brand is, what the name is. Most of the time, there are some things that I buy, but I'm buying black, blue, and then I'm buying like green pumpkin and watermelon.
Dude,
Nothing in
Jabberhammer
between.
has the sight of a largemouth bass. You would think that he'd be better at fishing, but he has the same,
How do you know you're really buying black and blue and it's not pink?
Well, because colorblind doesn't mean I can't see colors. It means that I can't distinguish certain colors when they're together.
It's
No,
red and green, right?
Listen, I've seen colorblind people and they got the one glass with the red thing, with the red
Oh.
flat eye. So unless you have those glasses,
Look, I can tell when that bitch is black, blue, red, or if it's watermelon and green pumpkin. But when you put watermelon and green pumpkin get together and they're on the thing, I'm just grabbing whichever one's first. I really don't give a fuck. Like I'm not that in depth on it. I mean, I literally am black, blue, red, and then light colors. And my light colors are, watermelon and green pumpkin. I mean, and then obviously shad color patterns, shad.
Yeah,
That's
bust
it.
and shad.
Bust and shad.
Yep. Luckily, all the names and colors of the baits are written on the package.
I can't, but I'm dyslexic, so
You can't read
everything's
it.
backward.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
so
Nope.
do you buy
Nope. This is why I'm trying to find a new host.
Alex,
Wow.
Yeah.
This is,
Romeo's talking. Shush.
so you buy based on color, but do you buy based on price, right? Does price deter you? Like you look at how many are in the bag to price? How do you get that down?
Nope.
A fancy package, a
nope.
nice sticker.
Price does not matter to me when I go to buy something. Either I'm buying it to try it out, and if I'm buying something to try it out, I buy one pack. Now, if that's something new, it works, or if I catch fish on it, then I go buy a shitload of them. But I love the Yum Dinger for whatever reason. When it comes down to stick baits, the Yum Dinger is the thing that I catch most of my fish on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I buy. But I'll also buy a Strike King. Like I don't care. So whatever works. And either I just buy it and try it out and it works, or somebody tells me and it works. If that's what I get and it works, that's what the hell I buy.
So
I don't give a shit about price.
Part two of that question is now you have your green pumpkin, whatever, and then you buy a different bait that you're going to try. When you go out and fish, do you fish the confidence bait first to find the fish, or do you automatically throw on the new shit first?
I'm going to fish. If I buy something because somebody said this is working now, or I buy something because I like it or I want to try it, I'm going to fish the shit out of it. But when I go fishing, anytime I go fishing, because I'm either tournament fishing or I'm practicing for a tournament, right? I don't like the fun fish. I don't just go out there and fuck around. I always start off with a dark lure. This time of year in soft plastics, I'm throwing things that are red. So tomato, red, pink, the bubblegum pink, whatever. Like those are the colors that I start with. Now, as we move into the post spawn, then I just go to like greens and browns, green pumpkins, that color palette. And that's what I throw. And then as we move into the summertime down here in the South, that's when I go to the reds, the black and blues, and that color. So that's how, and that's not to say it's right or wrong, because I know a lot of people catch a lot more fish than I do, but that's what I start off with. Now, if I start dark throughout the day, if I think they're going to be biting, a drop shot or a shaky head or a Texas rig, I'll start to change colors. I always start dark and go lighter, typically. Usually that post spawn is about. It depends. I mean, it just again, it depends on the watercolor and where you are and stuff. But I typically start dark and go light.
It's like eating a rotisserie chicken. Always start dark, go light.
Look, the best part of the damn chicken is dark meat, and people who only eat breast meat are fucking terrorists.
Yeah.
You start from the bottom and make your way to the top.
All right. So, yep. No,
Alex,
you're
this is
right.
my
Last
favorite
question, last
question.
question. I need to know, Jabba, you throw the yum dinger. Do you throw the green pumpkin chartreuse tip?
When the brim are on beds.
Say that again.
When the brim.
Is that the top of a cup? Is that what that is?
No, that's the rim, or the top of the pecker.
Oh!
The rim. But I'm talking about the brim. AKA,
we've never had a guest push back on that. I fucking love it.
You Yanks call every brim a bluegill, but that's not even fucking true.
Now I know what you're
it's
saying.
A brim.
Yes, or a gill. Gotcha.
Yeah. So when the brim are bedding, shit, I'll dip. If I run out of green pumpkin, I will dip any worm I got with a yellow tail. But down, but yeah, when the brim are bedding, I want a little bit of yellow up in the back end of that worm.
Okay.
I don't give a shit what color it is. I just need a little bit of yellow in there. Same thing with the shad. Later in the year, I'll throw shad patterns. I always put just a teeny little dip and dye on that tail. I still don't catch no fucking fish though, so it don't matter. I'm if y'all listening to me,
don't matter.
Keep trying, man. Keep trying.
I do.
Don't give up.
I try my hardest. But yeah,
Alex,
I try to go with. To me, it comes down to water clarity, and then it comes down to the forage. I think I'm around. That's kind of what I go to. But you can't go wrong with black and blue, in my opinion.
Correct.
These are the lakes down here.
Black or black food? Black.
Man, fuck, I ain't worried about no.
What's that?
Flake.
I'm worried about the flake.
Yeah, I ain't worried about no flake. If that bitch, if they are out of regular black and blue, and they got black and blue with silver fleck in it, and they don't have regular black and blue, I'm buying the one with silver fleck. I mean, if my fish, if I'm going to catch a fish and they need to have fleck in it or not, and I don't have it, or I do have it, they're not biting it, I just ain't catching that fucking fish. I'm going to have to move on to the next one.
Which I think, the best choice in that next one is a color shifting worm. I think that.
I do.
It is.
Use code BB15 at freshbaitz.com and
there we go.
Get your discount today.
Oh, man, he's dropping all the.
That's the second.
We need to have a Bass and Bruce discount for this.
We
episode.
do. We need a BAB 50, a BAB 50,
a BAB 75, a BAB 75.
Fresh Fam 15. Fresh Fam 15.
What? Like the oil filter? Fram, the oil filter?
He said Fresh Fam.
Fresh Fam.
I thought he said Fram. I thought he
Fram.
said Fram, like the damn oil filter.
No.
Hey, how y'all say OIL?
Oil.
Oil?
How y'all say ROYAL?
Royal.
I don't know that spells.
Royal.
Okay. So we put oil in the car and I drank Crown Royal.
He puts oil. Yeah, he's talking about how dumb he talks.
Oh, that's a silent I. That's a silent I, and the Y and A is silent in roll.
All right, Romeo. Didn't. Nobody asked me, I guess, because nobody gives a fuck. But I'll answer a lot of your worm questions, and a couple of them would be.
You're right. Nobody fucking cares, Alex.
Nope.
Wait, what was the question?
Romeo, this is awesome.
I was trying to ask, but Paul kept cutting me off.
I know.
No, but I was answering Romeo's questions. Now Alex is all butthurt because he didn't get asked.
Not
Romeo,
butthurt.
I'm asking.
So,
I'm trying.
I fish
Romeo,
a different fishery. I fish a different fishery than he does, right? So he's absolutely right. Dark colors, right? I like a dark purpley June bug, red flake, and that's it. So there you go.
So why did you start throwing the rainbow trout worm? Did you know there was rainbow trout in there? And that's why you ordered some? Did you get a pack for free somewhere?
Nope, I ordered it. I heard from Nate, your guys' company. I saw you guys are the only ones that had it. But yeah, so normally I will fish. Oh yeah, so you're talking about like, would you stick with it, right? And is it price, right? So I fish the 6 cents clout worm almost exclusively on the tidal river that I fish at. and that's with a 1/8 ounce weighted wacky rig, right? And that just works perfectly. I don't know what it is. It's just money. But if I'm going to fish off of that tidal rivery, or, oh God, too many bears, rivery. If I'm going to fish off that tidal river,
Write that down.
there's like 3 where I will fish you guys at. There's 3 lakes that stock and you guys kill there. And that's specifically, I'm trying to match. That's all it is. But I will fish that clout worm 90% of the time, like brand loyalty, for a reason just on where I'm at, where it is dominated there, where I fish to the point where I think they're discontinuing the color that I fish.
Which is June bug red flake?
Yeah, June bug red. And it looks like they're discontinuing that, and I just bought 40 packs of them.
Look,
Nice.
here, you mentioned something. You mentioned something that's interesting is brand loyalty.
Yeah.
25 years ago, there were only a handful or 2 of brands. Now, there's more brands than I got hair on my beard. And not one, for the most part, these, especially the big brands, give a shit if they use your worm or not. They got 100 other people. So when you get into smaller bait companies, brand loyalty, if you promote it, if you make a connection with those folks, like y'all with Fresh Bait, I will guarantee you, I'm saying this, I'm asking you a question / saying a statement. The people that promote your stuff and use it, that are loyal to your brand, y'all know who they are, and they stick out to you.
100%.
Strike King, Berkeley, all those, for the most part, those folks will never know who Jim Bob over here fishing their lure is, but y'all will.
100%. And that's I'm glad you brought that up, dude, because we've been very lucky to have a very loyal fan base so far and very loyal customer. This is our 3rd year doing fishing shows. Go to different fishing shows around the country, and we're starting to see the same guys and girls coming up to the booth buying the baits, and you start to recognize people as they come up, like, oh, well, you were here last year, whatever, and they're continuously buying the baits every year, and it's great to hear their stories about all the fish they catch on them. But it is great. I just don't know why I thought of that interaction, but it is a great time to see the customers firsthand. And
that's one of the great things about the smaller bait companies is that there is a loyalty to the angler and the brand that is building now that you really wouldn't have had before, because there's so much more to choose from out there.
Yeah.
And so that brand loyalty, and that helps, right? Helps with either getting a discount, with them helping you sell, with the promo codes or this and that. So, if people really latch onto your stuff and they start catching fish with it, and they're loyal to you, that's a whole niche within the little fishing niche in baits, because there's a ton of baits. I mean, everybody's got a lure out for everything now. The big salt plastic companies are making swim bait. They're making everything else. I mean, it's all that. So the smaller companies like y'all that make that and get that loyalty built, those folks are the ones telling everybody else on the bank that they're fishing with, or their buddies that they're going.
Romeo, I hope you're looking at right now how to color shift that June bug red into a green pumpkin, so I never have to buy anything other than a Fresh Baitz worm ever.
I'm just wondering why they took out the emerald green hex 0.04 and then added red.
Well, the red is solid. I listen. That red with the June bug is insane.
Dude, I don't doubt it.
Muddy on a muddy tidal river. I don't know what it is, and literally, I've thrown black and blue.
Can we see it? Pull it out.
What's that?
Show
All right, I will. Hold on.
I need to see.
Pull what up?
Oh, wait.
Hey, real quick.
Look, I've got
y'all bait makers.
Y'all
bait makers. Hold on. Listen. Have any of y'all ever actually seen a real live fucking June bug?
Yeah.
That bitch ain't red.
Yeah.
That bitch is gold. It's like a golden bronze. Where the fuck June bug come out to be? That's purple as fuck right there.
Yes.
That ain't no June bug.
Put it real close though.
That's June bug.
Hey, put your hand behind it, dumbass. There you go.
It's got the red.
Oh, it's got big red in there. Okay.
What are you
Yes.
talking about? That shit is purple. That's like
Yes.
navy blue.
No, it's purple. Hold on.
I don't see any red in that motherfucker.
That's
In the
Junebug-
sparkle.
June
It's
bug
because you're
esque.
colorblind, dipshit.
It looks like silver flake and navy blue. It looks like
No,
one of my
it's
sports
it
coats.
is super purple. It's got green and a lot of red flake in it, right? But
I
there's
don't see any
something
of that.
in the title.
Paul, just trust us. It's in there, dude.
I'm not trusting y'all with shit. Y'all, we have been
telling
on
you.
this bitch an hour and 25 minutes. Y'all know at this point.
I
I
shit,
fish-
I ain't trusting
I,
nothing y'all say.
I fish a real tannic water, like a Chesapeake or a Delaware River. I'm just on a different river from that. And I'll fish black and blue. I'll cast into a spot, nothing. I fish this in, hammers it. Like
It's still
it-
not Junebug. Junebug is like bronze. It has no.
You're
purple, no
colorblind,
blue,
bitch.
no
We're not
red.
gonna talk about color with you. You're
Paul,
colorblind.
Paul. So you asked, I don't know who, I don't know if it was Paul or Alex, but asked, we have any new baits coming
If it
out?
was a
We
good
do-
Yeah.
question, it was me.
I think it was you, dude. You asked if we have any baits coming out. We do have a trick worm
Okay.
coming out.
Oh, shit.
Hell
soon.
yeah.
Alex, you
Hell
might
yeah.
be interested in. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So that is what's new on the horizon for Fresh Baitz. I wanted to plug that before I forgot again.
I like it.
But
7
Well,
inch.
look, I'll tell you what. There's
7
there's
inch?
probably
Hell yeah.
oh, holy shit, boy. Let me tell you what. Now you talking about big worms down here in the south in
worm.
the summertime? The big worm gonna play. Big
Mhm.
Texas worm, big curly tail worm, big ass big worm. I got the damn. Hell yeah, give me that 10, 12 incher. I'll fish the shit out of that in the summertime now.
He'll take it. He listen. He might not even fish it. He'll just take it.
Hey, easy now. Easy now. You got to put them in your mouth, chew them up a little bit, make them taste good for the fish. I mean, that's how it goes. Hey,
Yeah.
look, I think it's about time to get into the shotgun round because we
I
got
do.
2 people
let's do it.
that have to answer questions in
We
the
do.
shotgun round. This is either going to take Fresh Baitz to Mount Everest. Y'all gonna ascend
Or-
Mount Everest, or you're gonna be sunk at the bottom of the fucking Pacific Ocean down at the bottom of South America in Magellan Strait. One of the
Listen,
two. There ain't no between.
Not Magellan.
The,
Yeah.
Get
the-
into this, dude?
listen.
Yeah, his ass got killed by some natives and ate.
no, he didn't.
Yes,
the
he did.
Brewskis.
Bitch, he did get killed.
The Brewskis. That is the
This
fan
motherfucker don't know
name.
history. This
The
sailor
fam
can't even
decide.
tie
Would
knots.
you quit? Stop. Listen here. Quit hating on the troops. We know you hate the troops, but
Tony,
stop.
Tony, where
Romeo's
you
gotta
going?
go
It's a
take
shotgun
off.
round. It's a shotgun
Romeo
round.
quit.
Romeo. But
He
anyways,
quit. He's like,
this
he's
is
like,
gonna
I show
be-
up late and I leave early.
this is gonna
When I gotta
be
turn his
what
camera
they're
on.
gonna decide you on. Yeah. Look.
Okay.
Look. Actually,
Alex,
we
you gotta
can do it
hold on.
ourselves.
Romeo's got to come back. Hold on. Hey, John, tell me this: with Romeo being gone,
Yeah, let's do that.
That's the
with
John
Romeo
show now.
being gone,
I love it.
who's in charge? Who hollers? Who hollers
He's
the
not
most
here.
and gets their way the most?
Tony. 100%. 100%. We start arguing. I just eventually will like give up. I'll be like, fine, just fine. You know. Yeah, that is the truth. Yep. Except if I'm
Oh, look!
Oh, we got a
Hey,
truly.
all right,
That
Oh
empty?
boy.
real quick,
Oh,
real
we're
quick.
starting off wrong,
Romeo,
Romeo.
do you ever drink the White Claw Surge?
That looks like a Starbucks thing.
Bo, this
No.
is seltzer water with 8 alcohols in it.
Really?
8.
Really?
8.
Like instead of drinking, instead of
It's like all
drinking
of them.
12 regular
It's
White
all of them.
Claws,
Yeah.
you can drink 3 of these and be right. And you can still drink a 12-pack of these and be extra right.
I'm about extra, right? With my seven.
Look, get you some White Claw Surges. I'm telling you, 8 alcohols.
8 alcohols.
8
Hey,
alcohols.
also,
Sounds like
if White
jungle
Claw,
juice.
if White Claw would like to sponsor the show, I only drink IPAs, but I'll drink White Claws. That's fine.
But I will for money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways,
Go
so
fund me.
before we get to the most scripted and controversial round of this show, we're going to give it off to you guys if you guys would like to promote. I mean, you've already done it 9
Again?
times this episode, but if you'd like to promote whatever you'd like to now before, because literally we're going to get to a round of questions, and I don't know how we're going to do it yet. It's going to be on the fly, but we've either elevated a brand or we've caused a whole podcast to stop podcasting. So that's where we're at.
Love it.
Yeah, so go for
Yeah.
it.
All right. So we're gonna go. Tony, you want to go first?
No, you go.
All
Yeah.
right. First off, big thank you to everybody who has ever bought our baits and stuff before, and fished with them and sent us feedback. And hopefully everybody keeps catching fish on them. Thank you to you guys for having us on tonight. It's been a blast of a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
Friday.
I mean, it's Friday. We
It is
released
Friday.
on Friday.
That means I don't
Way
have to
to
go to work.
blow off
Yeah,
the
thanks.
fourth wall. Thanks,
Yeah,
bud.
this has been a 3-day long podcast. Wow. It's like
hey, this
So much
is Bass
fun.
and Brews. It's possible that we do
we've got 3 days.
3
No
days.
shit.
Got 3 days.
We've had some 3-hour episodes.
I
Yeah.
absolutely believe it. Absolutely believe it. But yeah, no, check us out, freshbaits.com, Instagram, TikTok. Use promo code FAM15 for 15% off on the, what is it, Tone? What is it then?
Hey,
What?
all I'm gonna say.
We're waiting for the promo code.
It's BB15.
Is it really?
BB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is
Or-
it also, can you
Brown
spell
oil
Fresh
filter.
Baitz for us too?
What is it?
Can you spell Fresh Baitz? Is it with an
Sure.
S or a Z?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's a good, Alex, that's a great question, by the way. It is Fresh Baitz with a Z
First time ever.
at the end of Baits. That is, yes.
Thanks.
Yep. Fresh Baits with a Z.
And it's
Yeah,
BB15.
That is the code.
Yeah.
BB15 is the
All right.
code for all the listeners. Everybody,
Hey,
thanks a lot.
this is what we got to do now. Between now and Friday at 5 a.m., we need to have a Bass and Brews code that Alex can promote.
We just gave it to you. It's BB15.
BB15. BB15. He just said it.
What,
Look
what do you think BB stands for?
Well, I don't know.
Butts and
You're the worst, Paul.
Butts and
You're
titties? I don't
literally
know.
the worst.
Shit, I'm dyslexic. I'm colorblind. I can't hear
butts.
Shit, he's
Listen.
still thinking about the brim.
you.
He said brim and bourbon.
I can tell Romeo grew up in the country. He just said brim right.
Brim.
Bitch can't
All
say
right.
oil though.
But again, go to BB15. Check it
No,
out.
no.
Show them some love.
No, go to
Freshbaits.com.
Baits.
With a Z.
Freshbaits with a Z.com. Enter promo code BB15 at checkout for 15% off.
All right,
Here's what I know how to do.
Hold on. Shh. Alex, damn, you didn't even let Romeo talk. You were so mean to Romeo. I know he showed up late, but damn, why you gotta be an asshole, dude?
You hurt my feelings.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't give a fuck.
It's a butthole. Look, he's got Napoleon complex.
All right, what do you
Even though
got?
Napoleon was at
Romeo?
least over
Nothing.
5 foot tall.
I'm ready to
He's
start.
got nothing.
I got nothing.
He's got nothing.
Big.
He's a
Hold
good
on,
old-
I forgot somebody. I forgot a really important person. The Frenchman, Nate Chagnon.
Hey-o.
Forgot that too.
Oh, dude, Nate has been fuck that. Nate has been promoted so much in this
Yeah.
episode of this.
Get another
show.
plug.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Dude.
Like I'm gonna
He's
title this episode Nate Shagden doesn't show up, but Fresh Baitz does.
Ooh, that's pretty good, actually.
Was he
All right.
was he supposed to be here?
No.
But we're gonna make him feel like he was supposed to and missed it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
let's,
so
yeah, let's
we're
definitely do that.
gonna give him, we're gonna make him feel like that. So when we end tonight, the first thing I'm gonna do is text him like, man, we
Yeah.
did a whole podcast episode. You never showed up.
That's awesome. That's great.
All right, everybody. So it's
right.
the shotgun round. Here's how it works, boys. If you're not familiar with the podcast, which I'm sure you're not because you both seem like two respectable human beings.
I heard it's a
But,
great show.
Yep, it is. Well, I mean, it's
Well,
respectable. Yep. Here's
Just
where it goes downhill.
Put out there. I don't know about the rest of it.
Here's the shotgun round. We don't want I'm gonna do we're gonna start with Romeo, and we have some rapid fire questions. You get about 2 seconds to answer. We don't want any politician bullshit. We want right off the cuff exactly what you're thinking answers to this. Do you guys understand?
Are
Oh,
you
boy.
sure about that?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yo,
do.
I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't,
No, it'll be great.
for him. I don't fuck.
Yeah. All right,
Other way.
Romeo. Romeo, you ready?
Aren't you the video guy and you don't
Yeah,
even know how
man.
to point on a screen?
I'm also dyslexic. Yeah, here we go.
Are you colorblind too?
No, okay.
Romeo, are you gonna spend more on a rod or a reel?
Rod.
John, are you gonna wear Crocs or flops?
Crocs.
My
All right.
man.
All right, we're one question in. and Alex for the first time ever is doing one question for one and one for the other,
Yeah.
this is going to be a fucking shit show.
No,
I'm not even gonna pull up my notes. He's gonna fuck this all up.
No, I won't.
guarantee
Fuck
it.
off, dude. All right. Romeo. Pineapple on pizza. Yes or no?
100%.
100%.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Sorry,
Oh
we're not
my
that
God.
young. We don't understand
John,
what 100%
delicious.
means.
John, you need to do what Alex has been doing and put some, requests for resumes out for a new business partner because
I think you're
this
right, dude.
motherfucker eats pineapple on pizza on purpose.
John,
Listen, man, I gotta be true to myself. I also enjoy a good pineapple on.
it's
on
fucking
pizza
delicious.
As well.
I just
With the
had it
ham,
tonight.
dude.
Yes,
With the ham,
it's money.
bro. Come
That's
on.
not
money.
ham.
It's money. It's
not ham.
money.
It's
John,
not ham.
you're on
Yes.
the way to the water. You listening to hype music or slow jams?
Hype music.
Hype music.
Yep, especially in the morning. Yeah.
What type music?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably most likely like some Deftones.
That's not hype music. That's
Who the
hype
fuck
music.
is the Deftones?
I know
don't
who
think
Deftones
Deftones?
is. Funny story. I actually opened up for them, but
No, get out of here.
yeah, way back in the day. But
Okay.
that's not hype music,
He
bro.
was on the corner outside of where you entered the concert.
I
That's
was
where he opened up from.
I was the
Banging
fourth
on a
opening
bucket.
act. Nope, I was the fourth opening act to Deftones. Before me was Head PE,
Oh, wow.
Trap or what is it? Taproot.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the other band, but yeah, we were one of those post-hardcore bands way back in the day.
What was the name of the group? I know this is supposed to be about us, but what is the name of the group?
Yeah. Nope, I won't tell you that one.
What?
I'll tell you after we're done.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. Okay.
But yeah.
Yes. Deftones.
Hey, Alex.
hype music. Yeah.
Alex, we have one question where one of them's going to have to mute their sound so they don't hear it because both of them have to answer.
I'll handle that. I got it.
Well,
The last
you can
question.
mute them and then they can still hear. Anyway. Go ahead. Never mind. I'm going to let you fuck it up.
All right.
Romeo, you're fishing. You got a 3-hour session, right? Would you rather catch 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder?
1 7-pounder.
My man, that's the right answer.
Thank God, because if you'd have said 5 2-pounders after eating, pineapple and pizza, I was going to just leave.
Listen, I got other shit going on in the day, and that was a win. I'm off to the next.
Well, speaking of, you already had a food question. John, this one goes to you. Have you, I mean, it's just us boys here. Have you,
They both have to answer this one, so we got to figure this out. You threw
no,
me
we
for-
don't.
All right, so real quick, I'm going to do this. Alex does shit on this podcast during this round. The only thing that's scripted, he be changing the name of it and the order of shit all the fucking time. He don't ever fucking tell me. He just be doing it off on a whim, and I'm like,
Jig.
Sounds like you guys are having a communication problem here between each
all
other.
right, look, we don't need that motherfucker.
Oh, wow. The savage.
Anyways.
Wow.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways,
Who
John.
actually has yes.
John,
Shoot,
listen.
shoot. Holler at me.
Romeo already got answered a question. I think we already know his answer with his nickname, but I'd like to know your answer on this one. Have you ever eaten beaver?
Which kind? Yes, I'm just gonna say yes.
How did you prepare that beaver?
Slow.
What
The crock pot or the grill, the smoker.
Oh, I thought we were talking about something else.
Oh,
fuck,
how
bitch, we
dare
talking-
you? How dare you?
What are you talking about?
What?
Something else.
We're talking about the animal. What's your problem, John?
What's wrong with you?
My fault is. Then I guess the answer is no.
Jeez.
I guess the answer is no.
Oh no, it's too late now.
I-
You should-
Oh
I
my
remove the
God.
pelt, and then
Okay.
we throw it over the grill. Yeah. Yep. And then we eat it slowly, delicate. You know? Listen to the beaver, you know. And that's it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. You're guaranteed to win. All right, guaranteed to win.
Oh,
what?
that is guaranteed to go viral when that
keep
one
talking,
comes
keep
out.
talking. This
Keep
is
talking?
wonderful.
All right, I'm
Keep
trying to
going.
teach him right now. I'm trying to teach him right now.
Yeah.
All right, take it slow. Okay. All right. It's not a marathon. I mean, it is a
Any
marathon.
sauce?
It is
Do
not,
you use any sauce?
no, it should be the sauce should be provided already. It should come with, and just take, like I was saying, take your time. Patient, but just
Romeo's like, this is how our
your
company sings.
listen to your dinner. All right, just you and your dinner
know
are playing off each other.
Right now.
Guaranteed to win. All right. Anybody out there who needs help?
Yeah.
Yep. Nice and slow. Be a giver. That's it.
Where can they email you for these tips on beaver?
That is.
It's it's
Dick
Anthony
Bench
at
TV.
freshbaitz.com.
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah.
Don't
Beaver
have
tips, dude.
to deep fry that bitch.
Oh. Yeah.
All right. Did I cover them all, Paul?
No, see, this is what I was saying when you started doing the bullshit. All
All right,
like
got one
this.
for Romeo then. Give it
Romeo.
one for Romeo. Don't
Do
be
you
a
eat
dickhead.
largemouth
Hey.
bass?
Oh, there it is.
Do I eat largemouth bass? No, but I have in Mexico, and it was pretty tasty.
It's
Nice.
delicious. I can't believe you put pineapple on pizza but don't eat largemouth. This is very saddening to me. I'm a very sad person right now. I'm a sad, sad boy.
You know what? I think it just comes down to being a Northeast boy. We just don't get down like that. Our bass they don't grow as big, so we like to let them back to grow.
But if they don't grow that big, then you should be eating them bitches anyway.
No, that's not how it works.
No,
There's not as many.
There's gonna be dinks everywhere, and then everything's gonna suck.
No, look, the 8-pounders are the best tasting one. They had the 8-pound female bass where you can get the eggs out of it is the best. Oh, it's
But
just
you're lucky
delicious.
to catch one of those in your lifetime up here.
Exactly. So eat that bitch.
No, do not eat that bitch. No.
Yes. You eat
Put that back.
You
Put it
catch an
back.
8-pounder
Do
in
not
the
eat that
Northeast,
bitch.
Put it back.
You put it
He
on
took
YouTube,
all of
you
his
frying
beaver
it, and
comments
eat it.
back. Don't eat that bitch.
Not the largies. Eat the beavers, not the largies. Okay? Beavers all day.
All right, everybody.
There's way more beaver up there than there are 8-pounders.
Yeah, there is. Say that again, Paul.
Listen, check them out at Fresh Baitz. That's
Dude,
with.
you are missing the most important fucking question again.
Oh shit! I
And
forgot. I'm
both of
sorry.
them have to answer this,
Yep.
you dumbass.
All right, I'm sorry. So,
All right.
we're gonna start with Romeo. Every
Do I have to-
great fisherman.
But
What?
you're going to answer this
Do I have
question
to,
too.
do I have to mute my mic or something?
Yeah,
we
no,
got-
mute,
yeah,
mute your
yeah.
sound. Mute your sound.
All right.
Goodbye.
You can
Anyways.
still hear, dumbass.
Yeah, but he can't talk.
Dude, just shut up and ask Romeo the question, and then we'll ask John. He muted his mic. What are you doing?
I just like that layout
Should I mute
better.
it?
We
Should I
can
mute
just
it or not
stop.
mute it? Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, Romeo.
Every great fisherman loves a sandwich. Romeo, give me your top 3 sandwich proteins.
100% going to be a turkey. It's going to be a tuna and a chicken salad.
Solid.
John, top 3 sandwich proteins.
Oh, is that why we're fishing, or is that in general? Actually, now that
In general, it's all of
You
it.
did a good job. You
You're
didn't
good.
fail.
in general, I'd like to pull the chicken salad.
Oh, it's too late.
Nope.
It's too
what?
late.
No, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Nope, I want to hear it. It's going to be, I want to hear it because it's going to be something New England-y. Quit, Alex, motherfucker shit.
It's going to be a nice prosciutto, provolone, toasted bread, right? Nice with basil, a little olive
Just
oil
like
on
they
it.
have in the country. You're right.
I might even throw it on the panini maker real quick.
Oh,
Wow.
hey, gabagook.
There's another fat boy for you. You got a panini maker in the house.
John,
top
what do you
3
got?
sandwich
That sandwich.
proteins.
Top 3 proteins.
All right. Gonna have to go. Number 3, turkey.
Yeah.
Number 2, chicken salad.
Yep.
Number 3, beaver sandwich, baby.
Oh, man. There it is.
Ew.
Listen, make
That's
sure
the
you
first
guys.
time we've ever had beaver on the sandwich.
It is. Well,
You
it's
gotta
the
try
first
it,
time
dude.
somebody described exactly in great detail how he ate it. So,
Hey, real quick before we end, I went to Red Crest this weekend on Sunday.
You did.
I got to hang out with two of our really good buddies from the Sears Angler, Captain Andrew and Bailey. I got to see some of our Queen City Chronicle folks, Gustavo, Chris Goodwin, the actual Chris Goodwin. I got to see him. And guess who else I saw? Guess who else I saw that made my fucking whole weekend was Hook Sets and Hook Sets wifey, Tori and Ryan Brenneman.
That's right. I
got to see my people. And
those are Brewski royalty.
They are.
Okay.
Awesome. They are the historian and Mr. Hook Sets. It was a great time hanging out
and the historian's chauffeur.
Sounds like an awesome weekend.
It was a great time.
Hey guys, hang out for a minute.
Fishing hat. It's a good time, Bo. If you ask, if you got a bony ass, get you a kayak cushion. It'll make a world of difference on your hiney.
Okay,
it's a good tip.
All right, you guys hang out for a minute. The first thing I want to plug before we end the show is, all right, we don't do this a lot, but we're about ready to start a huge giveaway. And here's what